pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. Is there any visitor or public comment tonight? The next meeting of this board is Tuesday, March 1st at 4 p.m. The 2016 Stormwater Survey is now accessible online at doylestownpa.org. Please open and answer the survey. Movie and ski tickets are available. Contact the administrative offices for prices and what is available. Nominations for the Unsung Hero Award are now being taken, and the deadline for nominations are March 1st, 2016. Red Cross Spring Blood Drive is Monday, April 11th, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Activity Center. Please schedule the appointment for your blood draw at redcrossblood.org. Next item on the agenda is minutes approval for February 2nd, 2016. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Any
Second.
changes? No. Changes, corrections? There's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Correspondences, boards and commissions. We see a resignation from Gloria Vincente from the Traffic Advisory Board. Is there a motion to accept the resignation?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to accept it. Dory has been a long-time member, and unfortunately, due to her travels and stuff, she wouldn't be able to do it, so it's unfortunate that she can't continue. So.
All right, there's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Tell her we say thank you, and we regret that we'll lose her. Consideration for appointment to the Telecommunications Advisory Board, a letter from Dave Austin. Stephanie, what do you want us to do with this? Do you want us to interview him, or is it okay that we can just appoint him?
It certainly can appoint him. I know he's been coming to the meetings, and I know a number of board members have already met him. And I'm getting a thumbs up from Mr. Edenbach, who's the chair of the committee and has been working with him. He's very knowledgeable in the area of video,
But our rules
recording.
don't require us to interview?
No, we have
No.
two
Fine.
people that, an open spot, so it would be someone.
We'll entertain a motion to appoint Mr. Lawson.
I'll make a motion and just say that there were copious amounts of applause when he said at the last meeting that he'd like to join our committee. So overwhelmingly motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Well, just so you know, I've known him for many, many years, not only as an attorney in the bar, but also as a service on the borough board council. So with that motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And then we have also a request for a dog park advisory, Mr. Heber, Joe Heber.
Hebert. Joseph Hebert.
Captain.
Thank you.
Captain.
French, isn't it?
My neighbor.
Heber.
As in cartoon. No.
Anyway, Mr. Hebert would like to be appointed to the dog park. He's been at a couple meetings. He was at the last dog park meeting, and
And he's done some volunteer work for donation of trees, and also he is a past member on our Memorial, Veterans Community Service Memorial Committee, so he's well known to the board of
and he is a member of the dog park.
Yes, he is.
Is there a motion to appoint Mr. Hebert as a member of the dog park advisory board?
I'll make a motion. Yep.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Done. Okay. Reports from the solicitor.
I have one item for your consideration tonight, and that's, I propose a resolution, I'm not sure of the number, 2016-whatever. And you'll recall at a prior meeting, the board was discussing the fact that you're contemplating two major projects in the near future. One is the upgrade and renovation to this building, as well as other complex facilities, as well as the Chapman Road Bridge. In order for the general fund, which will probably be expending some money in anticipation of those projects to be reimbursed from the bond issue, we need to adopt a bond anticipation resolution, which I have prepared and I would suggest is ready for your action. I would also note that Mr. Colella had a nit that I fixed that he sent me over the weekend, and I think it's now ready for your consideration.
Has everyone had a chance to review this?
Yes.
Now, this will go in effect, not now, but when we need it.
Immediately.
So is there any restriction on when we take these funds?
Well, what this means is that if you spend money anytime
I know what it
between-
means, but
Right.
I mean, does it matter if you don't borrow this money for
Oh,
another year or two?
yeah, absolutely. As long as you're
Okay.
progressing with reasonable
That's
dispatch, absolutely.
That's all I need to know. Okay, so, thank you. Is there a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Nope. No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Madam Chairperson.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Solicitor. Chief?
Just a late addition to your packet, there is a letter that I prepared to be sent out to the residents surrounding Pheasant Road regarding a traffic safety issue regarding some sight distances of vehicles that exiting Pheasant Road onto Route 313. Due to the construction and widening of the highway, sight distance issues have developed, and I think it's in the best interest of the township that we temporarily close down a portion of Pheasant Road to prevent turning movements from Pheasant onto Route 313. I prepared the letter. It's ready to go out, and I just wanted to bring that to the board's attention, that there will be a detour plan set up directing cars around the area.
Will residents be able to turn off 313 onto Pheasant?
Yes, we're not restricting any turning movements off of 313. We're just restricting cars from exiting Pheasant onto 313. There was some alternatives, but I think that this solution is in the best interest of the township at this point.
Okay.
What was the concern that was raised to you? How did that come about?
It came from a resident over there regarding cars coming out that reduced the sight distance due to some extremely mature shrubbery on a corner property that's technically within the right-of-way and technically could be removed. However, it's a temporary thing. If we decide to take down the trees because they're in the right-of-way, that's permanent. In my opinion, it's permanent. The temporary road closure is just temporary. It'll be till probably in the spring sometime.
And I just shared with Barbara that this is really within the chief's authority. I think this is informational only.
Sure.
No actions required from the board because it is a safety issue.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
Anything else?
Nothing. Thank you.
Anything
Nothing
from
at this
the
time.
engineer? Okay. Manager?
I just have one. We have a request from Mr. Roth about a tax refund. He apparently did not receive his tax bills because there was an out-of-state address associated with his property in the switchover, and so he's looking for a refund on the penalty and interest of $94.15. The board will recall you did this twice last year, and it would be my recommendation to refund that.
Generally speaking, if it's the board usually refunds if there's a breakdown in the system as opposed to somebody just not paying on time. And apparently, from according to what Stephanie said, there may have been a breakdown with respect to getting notice, but up to the board.
What is the pleasure of the board?
I would like to understand, I mean, he's lived there since 2008, and he's always gotten his notices.
Well,
He
So
was in
what's
he was in
happened-
New York through 2012, and I think with the change in the tax collectors, there may have been, according to him, he did not receive it since he's come back from New York. And the switch, he did not get the 14 and 15 bill. So,
So
I mean, it's always-
he had to pay taxes?
again, that's, yeah, I mean.
I don't know.
I don't disagree. That's, he's asking, he's paid it, he's current. He believes that he should have received it in a timely manner and didn't go to the right address. He's asking for the refund. I told him we were only responsible for Doylestown Township. The other taxing jurisdictions, he would have to seek directly from them, but you have the amount, and certainly you're
You're not obligated to
related.
refund
Nope,
it.
you're not, and it,
Is
I
there
think
a
this-
motion to approve the, or?
Yeah, I just remember this, when this came up last time, it was kind of somewhat of a similar situation, and we if you recall, we said we didn't want to go down a slippery slope here of people saying they didn't receive their tax bills.
Yeah.
I know, and I think it raises an interest, I mean, if you don't receive your tax bill, then call your tax collector and find out why you haven't received your tax bill, as opposed to just, finally receiving it with a late notice and then wanting reimbursement on your late notice. I don't know.
Well,
I mean, I can go either way on
the
this.
chair will entertain a motion either way.
You don't need a motion to deny it, you need a motion to approve it.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the refund from anyone? Hearing none, we will pass on the request.
Thank you very much.
Unfinished business.
You forgot the supervisors.
Oh, supervisors. I beg your pardon. Sean, you have anything? Now that I passed over the supervisors, you better not. No.
No, nothing, right?
No.
No comments. Well, our EAC meeting this month was canceled due to the snow. That one of a couple we've had. Our Park and Rec meeting, we did discuss planning for 2016 and prioritizing some maybe additions, enhancements, and just general use of, our new amphitheater here, and some plans there, maybe expanding the concert series as well on some other opportunities. And I'd like to remind, on behalf of Karen and the Park and Rec, that there are still sponsorship opportunities available, although we are encouraged to get them in soon because they're going to be going to print very soon. But sponsorships are available for as little as $100 up to, well, I'd say no limit, but in general, 100 to 5,000 is what's on the brochure. So if there's any interest, please contact either Karen Sweeney, Stephanie, or somebody here at the township. That's all I have.
Okay,
Thank you.
Ken, you have anything?
Yeah, a couple comments. At the last supervisors meeting, we gave an update on the building renovations and what the next steps were, and we had approval to go to those next steps. And just to follow up with the board, that we had met last week with the architect, and based on the where they're at and getting that to the architectural drawings, there's enough funding available in what we had allocated last year that we can get it to that next step for the architectural drawings. After that, or starting tomorrow, in addition, Stephanie and the architects are going to be meeting with the township staff to say, this is where we're at, guys. Approve this, and we're going next. So get your comments in tomorrow, and we'll get moving with this. We also talked about the phasing of the projects and really how they get bid. So we're pursuing those next steps, and we're well on our way. The other comment was Ways and Means Committee. I'd like to get some input from the board as to, we had our pension discussion earlier, or at the previous meeting, and there's a lot of feedback we get. The pension is currently not 100% funded. Should it be 100% funded? And I'd like to get some feedback from the board is, should we have the Ways and Means Committee look at our alternatives? Should we be allocating more funds for it? What are those alternatives? What would be the timeline? What would be the impact? As we did last year within the budget process, we had identified for the Ways and Means Committee to look at several projects to get ready for the next year's budget process. So what I wanted to get from you guys, if you thought this was a good project for the Ways and Means Committee to look at, we'll get them started, and I'll take that forward at the next Ways and Means Committee meeting. If you wanted to think about it some more, we can hold off, but I like to at least put it on the docket for them so they can start thinking about how they're going to allocate resources to look at these various projects for next year's budget.
Well, various projects, or are you talking about the funding of the pension allocation? Various projects or that, or both? All projects, or?
I think he's talking about, so the Ways and Means can work on that issue.
Work on that one issue, in addition to other issues.
Yeah.
This would be one of the several issues.
Yeah, thank you. I think we looked at this a couple of years ago, and it's a conversation between Ways and Means, Ken Wallace, and our guy in Harrisburg.
Consultant.
Yeah, our consultant in Harrisburg. And then they got us up to where we are now with funding.
Right.
And I don't know that there's been a recommendation that we take it any further, that we go to 100%. And as far as I'm concerned, I'd rather the Ways and Means look at what we need to be doing with the sewer district and possible looking for funds there, with our building and the bridge and all those other. I think those are priorities rather than having them look at the pension funding as well.
When's your next actuarial study going to be done, Stephanie?
17.
January 17? That may be the time to do it, because then you'll know what your current obligation is.
Okay.
Because if the market does well, then your obligation is declining.
Correct.
That way you have a fresh actuary, because this is based on 2 years ago.
Correct, right.
So we're
Okay.
in good shape right now, and I don't know that we need to put any more
That's
resources
why I was just
into it.
asking for your insight.
That's my
Or input into it.
position. I don't know. I must speak for the rest of the board.
Jeff makes a good point.
Okay.
Thanks. Do you have
Last-
something else?
Yes, last comment I had is, we had at the reorg meeting, we approved the guidelines for how supervisors would conduct business. And back in January of 2015, we had amended those guidelines, and there was one that we had added, and it did not get incorporated into the batch of guidelines for this year, and so it was omitted. So I would like to have this one added back into the batch of guidelines for this year.
Do you want to read it?
Yes.
And then
Yep. Any
Cynthia
board,
can get a copy of it.
yeah, this is what wasn't included. Any board liaison who cannot attend their appointed board and/or commission meeting shall make every attempt to have another board member attend in his or her place in order to ensure a supervisor is in attendance at every meeting.
Okay. The meeting minutes for the January reorganization will include that.
No, actually, you can't do that.
Well-
You have to make a motion to amend what you did at the reorg meeting to include that today.
What he just said. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
That's all.
All right.
I just have one thing from the Bike and Hike meeting today. The Pennsylvania Recreation and Park Society selected our Bike and Hike Committee to be the winner of this year's Community Champion Award, which is, it was not Karen put in the nomination through Parks and Rec, and it's a pretty prestigious award at a banquet on March 15th where they'll be honored, and another great accomplishment for our Bike and Hike Committee.
Yeah, that's great. And now, there's some question as to whether the members of this board and the committee will be going out, so that's still in discussion. And if that occurs, and if we lose a couple board members, the meeting on the 15th of March will be moved, I would assume. Yes, so that's still in conversation. All right, so standing by on that.
Yes.
Okay.
And just one other thing that came up at the Bike and Hike meeting today was just mention of May 15th, Family Fun and Fitness Day, which Park and Rec is putting on. So more information to come, but it sounded like it's going to be a neat event, 11 to 3, right after the I Run for Life 3K at Central Park. Lots of different activities going on there, and I think it'll be a fun community day.
That's a Sunday.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. All right, anything else?
That's it.
All right, new business, exoneration of the tax collector.
Every year, the tax collector is obligated by law to deliver to the Tax Claim Bureau any unpaid taxes, and this is just your acknowledgement that she's permitted to do so, because then the legal obligation to collect those delinquent taxes shifts to the Tax Claim Bureau.
Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck, tax collectors.
A lot of money there.
Yes, there is. Land development on 651 North Shady Retreat Road, extension request. Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Bids for the 2016 roads. Wow. $763,087.10 awarded to, or the recommendation is to be awarded to James D. Morrissey for the roads plan, mills and paving of those listed in Dick's memo. Everyone had a chance to review that? And I don't want to read them all, but there are numbers of portions of roads in the township that are being repaved and included in this bid. Budget, the amount budgeted was $800,000 for this bridge and road work, so we're within the budgeted amount. And if anyone needs to see the list of the roads, they're on our website, and we can make them available.
Question.
Keith?
Good evening, Keith Peters. Just in regards to the roads, and I think I've mentioned this before, could we try not to have road work done when there's in polling locations, on roads leading to polling locations? This road was closed, and there's only 2 roads into this polling location, and there are 2 polling locations here. So if you can please schedule road work to not prevent voters from voting, I'd appreciate it. Thank you.
We'll try.
There's only 2 elections a year.
And you
Get a holding action from the
So you won't be
contractor.
doing it again, so. Yes, good point. Very valid point. It created a
All
problem.
right, is there a motion to approve the bid?
Move to approve the bid.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Zoning Hearing Board, request for 137 Willowbrook Drive.
My recommendation is this matter, since it's a special exception for an in-law suite, can be left to the zoning hearing board.
Okay.
And also with the second one, which is a variance on impervious surface, can also be left to the zoning hearing board.
Okay. Treasurer's Report, February 16, 2016. Is there a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then the bills list for February 16, 2016. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next meeting of this board is Tuesday, March 1st at 4 p.m. Stormwater Survey for 2016 can be reached at doylestownpa.org. Please log on and fill out the survey. Movie and ski tickets are available by contacting administrative offices for discounts and availability. Nominations for the Unsung Hero Award are being taken. Deadlines March 1st, 2016. And Red Cross Blood Drive, April 11th, 2 to 7 p.m. at the Activity Center. You have to schedule your draw at redcrossblood.org. No other business. We're adjourned. Thank you very much, everybody. There are things to sign.
There are documents to be signed.